The next two versions of Genshin Impact could be really dangerous for anyone trying to save Primogems, because version 7.1 already has two new characters to watch, Vzna and Vionitsa, and both have recently received more beta changes, making them even more interesting than when we first covered them. But then we have the possible reruns. Skirk, Escoffier, and just when you think you can survive 7.1, version 7.2 could bring Midia and Valerie, alongside some major rerun possibilities. So you could potentially have multiple characters you want appearing back to back. And unless you're spending a lot of money, you're going to have to make some choices. So today, we're going through the current 7.1 to 7.2 roadmap, the characters worth watching, and most importantly, how I think you should manage your Primogems. Just remember, these banner placements are based on current information and predictions. Things can still change before Hoyoverse officially announces them. Let's start with 7.1. First up is Vzna. We've already covered her recent V3 changes, so I'm not going to repeat her entire kit. But the important thing is that Vzna got stronger. Several of her damage multipliers were increased, including improvements to her enhanced skill damage. So the Vzna we're looking at now isn't exactly the same Vzna we were discussing earlier. Her damage potential has improved, and that makes her much more attractive as a 7.1 pull. Her signature weapon has also received changes. But personally, I'm still leaning towards C0 Vzna first. If you're F2P or a low spender, I don't think you should automatically look at a new DPS and think, I need C1 in the weapon. You don't. Get the character first. See how she performs. And keep some Primogems available for the characters coming after her, because that's where things get difficult. Then we have Vionitsa, and she also received some meaningful V3 changes. Her support capabilities were improved, including changes to her resistance shred and her interaction with the newer Stellar Swirl system. Her stack capacity was also increased, while her Radiant Stellar Swirl state received an extension. We've already gone through those changes in detail, so I'm not going to spend this video repeating every number. The important takeaway is, Vionitsa is looking better than before, but I still wouldn't call her an automatic must-pull. Her value is going to depend heavily on the teams you're actually building. If you're investing into the new Snezhnaya reaction system, she becomes much more interesting. But if you already have a strong account and don't need what she provides, you can absolutely save. And that's something we're going to see repeatedly with these banners. A good character isn't necessarily a good pull for your account. Now, let's talk about Skirk, because this is where 7.1 becomes really dangerous. Skirk is currently being discussed as a possible rerun around version 7.1. It's not confirmed, but if you've been waiting for Skirk, this is something you absolutely want to keep an eye on. Because imagine pulling Vzna early in 7.1, and then Skirk gets announced immediately afterward. Suddenly, those Primogems you thought you had plenty of aren't looking so comfortable anymore. And this is why I'd recommend deciding your priority before the banners arrive. If Vzna is your favorite character, pull Vzna. If Skirk is the character you've been saving for, don't let the hype around a new character destroy your savings, because there's always another banner coming. And Skirk isn't the only rerun being discussed. Escoffier is also currently being mentioned as a possible 7.1 rerun. So potentially, version 7.1 could involve Vzna, Vionitsa, Skirk, Escoffier. That's 4 limited 5-star characters competing for your Primogems. Now, I'm not saying all 4 are confirmed. They aren't. The exact banner order can still change. But even as a possibility, this is enough to make 7.1 a very important patch for saving. Because, realistically, most players aren't getting all 4. So, instead of asking, which one is strongest, ask yourself, which one would I actually regret skipping? That's your priority. And here's the problem. Even if you survive 7.1, 7.2 is right behind it. The current roadmap points toward Midia and Valerie. Midia is currently reported as a 5-star Electro character, and Valerie is currently reported as a 4-star Electro character. That's important because I've seen some confusion about Valerie's rarity. For now, the information we're following has him as a 4-star, not a 5-star. And Midia is the one currently reported as the 5-star. Both are connected to the newer Snezhnaya gameplay direction, so if you're interested in that system, these are two names you'll want to watch. But we're still early. Their final kits and numbers can change. So I wouldn't start spending Primogems based purely on early information. Midia is probably the bigger concern for Primogem savers simply because he's currently expected to be the new 5-star. If his final kit remains strong, he could become another major reason to save through 7.1. Then there's Valerie. As a 4-star, he could potentially give players another way to interact with the new system without needing to pull another limited 5-star. But there's an important warning with 4-stars. You can't guarantee a specific 4-star without potentially getting the 5-star on that banner. So I wouldn't recommend chasing Valerie specifically unless you're comfortable with that risk. If you get him naturally while pulling for a character you already wanted, great. But don't destroy your guarantee just for a 4-star. Now we get to the part that could make 7.2 extremely expensive. There are several major characters being discussed as possible rerun candidates around this period. Names like Mavuka, Sandrone, Varka, and others. But I want to make this very clear. These are possibilities, not confirmed banners. I wouldn't tell you. Varka is definitely coming in 7.2, because we don't know that. The reason we're mentioning these names is simply because they could completely change the Primogem situation if they do appear. Imagine spending almost everything in 7.1, and then your most wanted rerun appears in 7.2. That's the situation we're trying to avoid. So, let's actually make this useful. If you're trying to survive these versions, make a simple priority list. Number 1 must pull. The character you would genuinely regret missing. Number 2, maybe. Someone you like, but you're willing to skip. Number 3, skip. Someone you don't actually need. And be strict about it. If you put 6 characters into must pull, you've basically created no priority list at all. For example, if Vzna is your number 1, I'd personally aim for C0 first. Don't immediately chase her weapon. If Skirk is your number 1, keep your Primogems ready for her. If Vionitsa is interesting but not essential, wait. And if your real target is Midia, Mavuka, Sandrone, Varka, or someone even further into Snezhnaya, saving through 7.1 could be the smartest move. There's one Genshin habit I really want people to avoid. You get a bunch of Primogems. You see a character you like. You think, I'll just do a few pulls. Then 20 pulls become 40. 40 becomes 60. And suddenly you're sitting at pity with no savings. And then the character you actually wanted gets announced. This is why I personally prefer having a rule. If I'm not willing to get the 5-star, I don't pull. Don't pull for 4 stars on a banner you don't want. Don't build pity. Don't test your luck. And don't spend your guarantee because you're bored. Your Primogems become much more valuable when you have a specific target. So, based on the information we have right now, here's how I'd personally approach it. Vzna. Her recent buffs make her more appealing, and C0 would be my starting point. Vionitsa. Her recent changes are promising, but I'd wait for more testing before calling her essential. Skirk. If you've been waiting for her, keep your savings ready because her potential rerun could completely change 7.1. Escoffier. Worth watching, but wait for the actual banner confirmation. Then for 7.2. Midia is one of the new 5-stars to watch. Valerie is currently reported as a 4-star and could be interesting for the newer reaction teams. And the possible reruns? That's where I'd be careful. Because if even one of your major favorites appears, you'll be glad you saved. And remember, we're only talking about 7.1 and 7.2. Snezhnaya is much bigger than these two versions. More characters are coming, more teams are going to be developed, and we're going to get even closer to some of the biggest characters on the roadmap. So, I don't think you should try to collect everyone. That's simply not realistic for most players. Instead, build an account around the characters you actually enjoy. Because missing 1 DPS isn't going to destroy your account, but spending everything and then missing your favorite character, that's going to hurt a lot more. So, here's the current picture. Version 7.1 could potentially give us Vzna, Vionitsa, possible Skirk rerun, possible Escoffier rerun. Then 7.2 could bring Midia, currently reported as a 5-star, Valerie, currently reported as a 4-star, and potentially some very important reruns. So, if you're saving Primogems right now, my biggest advice is simple. Don't pull just because a banner is available. If Vzna is your priority, go for her. If Skirk is your priority, save. If Vionitsa is interesting but you're unsure, wait for more information. And if your favorite character is coming later,
Keep saving.
because Snezhnaya is only getting started, and your Primogems are going to have a very difficult time surviving it.
So now tell me,
Who are you saving for? Vzna? Vionitsa? Skirk? Escoffier? Midia? Mavuka? Sandrone? Barca? Or are you skipping 7.1 entirely? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more Genshin 7.1 and 7.2 updates, Snezhnaya news, banner predictions, and Primogem saving strategies, subscribe to Celestia Tales. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.